Hi. Morning, everybody. My name is Louisa Smith. I'm an independent textile consultant, and I work through all stages of the supply chain, from fiber right through to brands. So I work with different companies in understanding what's happening in markets and understanding what consumers want. And as Kim mentioned, over 30 years, it's amazing to see the changes that have happened. So I'm here today with a relatively new company, UNITEX. We did a collaboration, UNITEX and myself, on trend information. They're a circular and warp knitter, and they are based in southern China. Now, one of the things I really enjoy about UNITEX is that I've had the pleasure of knowing them for the last 12 years since they were founded, and their mission statement is Green Your Life. So basically, ever since the first, sort of like stone went down for the factory, this is one of the most state-of-the-art factories that you'll see. I'm a bit of a factory nerd, and I really like factories. And this one is actually incredibly quiet because it's so super efficient. It's got renewable energy in the form of solar and also wind turbine. All the machinery is latest generation, German, Japanese, high quality machinery, and also a very young team. So it's a really different approach that they're taking that is really, got me involved. What is also interesting is that they are very much connected as global partner mill with many of the premium brand ingredients here today. So we have Hyosung, IQ, Polygene, Nilit, Lycra, the list goes on. They predominantly work in synthetics, so we're looking at nylon 6/6 as well, where they have a very dedicated area, and also polyester. But what's interesting with them is, as much as their base is very much green in vision and being efficient and, sort of like the electric cars that take you around the plant, they also were pioneering in using recycled synthetics, including spandex as well, moving on to the bio-based synthetics, and now they're moving on to the biodegradable as well. So it's really important from a point of view of sourcing. We have the big brand ingredients who do a lot of the R&D into cleaner products. And it's not enough just to take those and make fabrics. This is the latest, or the next way textiles are going to be made, this new renewable energy, saving water, much more efficient processing, automated factories. So they're really interesting. Anyway, I'll start with the trends. We developed 4 trends. We start with fall-winter 25-26, and I'll also just show a mood board for spring-summer 26 as where we see the direction going. The information that I collaborated with UNITEX on was more about consumers understanding what's happening in the sports and outdoor market and how relevant circular and warp knits are and what we're looking for. So the first trend was emotion. And this is really, there's an emotional aspect with fabrics through touch as it is, the feel. This was very urban inspired. We see running very important still, but also urban gyms. I saw one yesterday, where you just don't even realize it's a gym, but the door was open and everybody's working out. This whole sort of like new urban lifestyle look. So we want fabrics that really react to different environments. So you go to the gym, but you walk the streets as well in your gym gear. And it's very much sort of like urban and toned down and quite gritty in its appeal. The emotion as well is also about the motion of the body during sports, and also how the performance fabrics can, benefit workouts. We've got moisture management. We've got very sort of like tough fabrics that will sort of like withstand more durability. Here we have the sort of like the emotional connection of sports as well. One of the things I'm working on with a lot of the trend information that I do across the board is the connection between mental health and physical health. And this is really important. And with emotion as well, we're seeing these social groups, these collectives coming together, and there are certain brands that are doing this: On Running, Hoka, Gymshark in London, having these meetups, this social connection, and having sort of like the emotional aspects of running together and working out together. And this is really important for the consumer, because consumers can be very isolated the way our lifestyles are, because we're very much digital first. So this sort of like community and collective spirit, incredibly important. And then for performance, what's trending? Okay, we've got the bio-based synthetics. UNITEX do a really great development with Sirona. They've got a lot of different products there. But also the FIR yarns, the far infrared. So that motion again of moving, the heat leaving your body and being returned through FIR yarns, and sort of like re-energizing you and giving you a sense of well-being, or for recovery. So really important areas here. Clean cut fabrics, that is key as well for sort of like responsible design. Apparel design, less finishing, less chaffing, less seams. So it's all sort of like, it's like a jigsaw, the whole supply chain, from the ingredients to the manufacturing to the design. So it's really about all working together. And then we have lightweight fabrics. You'll see for sort of like shorts over leggings, over running tights, they're not woven anymore. They're actually a knit, but they look woven and very crisp to touch. So some of the areas that we really see this focus, we see it also as very much unisex. You go to the gym, you don't see the neon lycra and, that flash and, workout. Now it's very unisex. It's sort of like a equality going on there, the workout, the strength training as well, very important as the running too. So very gender neutral, urban, and also again, responsible design. So some of the fabrics here, we have but the bio-based nylons coming through. The fabric hand itself, again, tying in with emotion, that really beautiful touch. It's so important, that's what gets the consumer, especially in a physical store, touching the fabric and then against the skin, because a lot of the products in this sector are, sort of like second skin. So some really nice fabrics, double face knits as well. UNITEX also have a printing facility, which has got the latest digital printing. So again, that allows for customization of great base fabrics, so that brands sort of like can have their own identity and we're not all looking the same. And this is really important, something we'll see develop further. And then we've got the bio-based polyester as well coming through. And this is the FIR I was talking about, the far infrared. That's from Nilite. And, really important yarn there, especially as you're working out and the heat's rising, to just get that extra bit of performance coming through. A lot of the spandex they use Hyosung in particular, and also lycra. We're also looking at recycled spandex and the bio-based spandex. So, they're constantly looking on the fabric development for the latest premium brand ingredients. And then just a preview of Spring/Summer 26, where they're going. There's more surface effect. The visuals on the back of this board are fabrics that have been developed. And there's a lot of, raised surfaces coming through, playing with yarns as well, that reduce dope-dyed yarns or solution-dyed, that reduce the need for water. So becoming quite, a bit more innovative in that detail. Moisture management, the anti-odor, really important, again, for that gym aspect, the urban gym. You know, remember the time you'd work out, you'd put a polyester top and a gym bag and it would stink. We don't want that anymore. We want that fresher, longer lasting wearability. And obviously quick dry as well. So definitely an area we see moving forward, this motion, this emotion, and really important for the consumers. We're seeing a big push in sort of like the cycling and the road cycling. And what's interesting as well, road cycling, a lot of women coming through in there. So, we want to see more women-centric designs for the road cycling. So UV protection here as well, really important for outdoor. Then we move on to our second trend, and this was quiet pace. And this is like, just breathe. We're just so connected and running. And I did something this morning, and I was, just so quick. And I've actually sent someone an Easter egg addressed to myself, which, it's just like, because we're always like, and this is really nice because it's like, calm it down, bring it down. And it translates in the fabrics from UNITEX. There's really beautiful hand feels, super, super touch, but still with the performance in there. And a lot of the performance as well is permanent. So you've got a longer life to the garment too. So here it's very much about balance, the mind, body, and soul. But with our visual as well, we've brought in this sort of like AI digital world, sort of like quite dreamlike. And we're seeing, this peace and tranquility. People are picking up books instead of reading from a screen. Put the screens down. It's just like really disconnecting from digitalization. Again, it's about well-being, the consumer's well-being. What you're putting in is, how you nourish yourself, how you work out, how you care for yourself, be kind to yourself. It's really important. This was an image from New York at the top, how are you really? We've got a lot of mental health issues, and this is where we also see sport tie in, creating groups and getting running, getting walking, exercising, communicating, really very important. From a fabric perspective, here we've got the fabrics are actually very beautiful, and we're seeing, for the yoga market in particular, we're seeing fabrics that were traditionally for intimate apparel coming through, and they are very beautiful. For yoga as well, you want that freedom, you don't want to feel restricted, so these fabrics are literally, featherweight against the skin, but they have good levels of compression and support. So also this shine coming through, some trilobal yarns that are really gleaming and just give a bit of an edge. And then, as I mentioned, this barely there feel. Again, the clean cutting comes through. The reduction of seams is really important because you've got less pieces for a garment. You've got less waste then on the cutting room floor. So we also looked at soft touch, and again, this sort of like the versatility. Gymshark have just opened a store, a permanent store. They've got a store in London on Regent Street, and they've just opened one in Selfridges, which just highlights where the sports market's going. Selfridges, high-end luxury goods. And they've launched exclusively an everywhere collection, as in W-E-A-R, everywhere. A collection where you're wearing product for working out, for yoga, for going to work, lifestyle. And this is the direction we see it going in. And this mood in particular is really relevant to it. So from a fabric perspective, here we've got, there's an FIR polyester there. It's quite spongy, quite malleable, sort of like protection, coatings, really lovely. A little bit of brightness coming through on that top fabric with a trilobal yarn, and some PK surfaces as well, but really just so discreet and just really calm. And here too, this is a really interesting fabric. It's got a really beautiful, like, liquidy touch. And some of the spacer fabrics as well, very soothing. They have a brushing facility as well in the factory, and that's using, I think it's Italian machinery, but it gives that added softness and, you know, sort of like pamper yourself. You know, if you're not great, you're not no use to anyone else, so start from you. And then moving on for spring summer 26. Here again, we're seeing textures come through, but also really comfortable compression. In the past, you know, sort of like pulling on high compression, especially for core stability and yoga, it can be a struggle. Now you're getting the compression through the developments from UNITEX, where it's really comfortable to put on and get that, you know, sort of like support and shape. Moisture management and also cool touch. That's really key as well. And what's nice and what I really like about cool touch functionality is on the performance factor and sort of like the functions available in the market, cool touch you can actually feel, the consumer can feel. So I know in the past brands have put, you know, stickers on saying touch me, and, you know, it's like, yeah, you know what that performance is. So that's really important coming through for yoga in spring summer 26. Then trend 3, mono moves. And this is where we're seeing, and I mean, there's been a lot of talk about circularity and the circular economy at this show, and it's super, super important. And one of the problems we do have with returning products back into the circular economy is we're using a lot of blends. So it's very difficult to strip the blends away and recycle. So we looked at how we could be functional, but still, you know, have a high level of performance. So here we were looking at mechanical stretch, and that was really interesting. We're seeing some really...
Louisa, just 1 second, sorry. Oh. Maybe we listen to the guys, then okay. It's not okay.
Thank you. Okay. Great, thanks, Kim. Yeah, so we're looking at mechanical stretch. So we eliminate the need to use spandex. And for soft stretch, for comfort stretch, it is possible. If you need high compression, at the moment, you know, spandex is still crucial. But for this is really, and, you know, sort of like an interesting area. And also, because of this sort of like circularity in this trend, a lot of recycled ingredients as well. And as I mentioned earlier, UNITEX were one of the first to, you know, really push on the recycled synthetics. So here we have our sort of like community spirit. I really like this top one, and I know it's kind of here, like there's a fountain over there, a water fountain over there. But I was in an airport, and it was actually Malaga Airport, and they've actually got the water fillers now, finally. I mean, they've got them hidden away because they'd like you to spend $3.75 on a bottle of water. But it was just like the consumer's more conscientious, and you hunt these things down. And this is where we've got brands really sort of like delivering to the consumers who are more involved. You know, they're more likely to recycle. They're more likely to, you know, cycle as well, you know, change in urban mobility. I think we have to also realize with consumers, not everyone's the same. If you think everyone out there in Gen Z is really caring about the world, they're not. You know, there's a lot of people who are, but there's a lot of people who really don't care. So it's up to the brands to deliver that and to be responsible in their sourcing. So here in this trend we've got the bio-based poly going on, and we've got a cozy touch as well. It's very natural. Also, sort of like from a performance point of view, the eco-dyeing process and solution dyeing, again, eliminating that water. Why develop a fabric? And, you know, you put so much effort into developing a mono fabric, and then you just chuck a load of water to dye at it. So it's really sort of like thinking further down the road. And this natural hand as well. The synthetics can really create some very beautiful natural hands, really authentic, but still have that lighter weight performance that natural fibers haven't achieved as yet. And then we've got, you know, this, like I said, the cycling, the biking, so big. It's very much, again, about the good life, this crossover of garments, responsible design. Pretty much everything is, you know, is achievable in this for this easy care, and that ties in then with, you know, that easy care, easy wear kind of attitude. And again, with the pants in particular, the mono fabrics, some really interesting knits that look like wovens, mimicking wovens, but they're lighter weight, and compared to wovens, the price point is a little bit more attractive. So we're also managing to put coatings on these as well, and make it more sort of like urban friendly, especially if you're cycling and it's raining and you want to go to work, or, you know, really sort of like that protective aspect. On the mono side as well, it doesn't mean to say there's one fiber within the garment, but it's that generic family. So, you know, we could have a performance polyester and a recycled polyester to create a polyester product. But it's definitely an area where I'm hearing, doing the shows and everything, where we're seeing a big increase of interest. So for the fabrics here, we've got Sirona on the right-hand side there, and recycled polyester down here. This black swatch is one of the fabrics that looks very woven and is great for pants. Again, there's sort of like a natural touch, as I mentioned, but also a cozy feel as well, but not lacking any of the performance that you know, sort of like blends can bring in. Here we've got 100%. This is a really beautiful fabric, the green up there, the FIR. And as I mentioned, the mixture of the cat-dyed polyester with the polyester, bio-based polyester with, that was the recycled polyester, still creating a mono fabric, so much easier to return to the circular economy. And then for spring, summer, just to preview, the fabrics in the background, you'll see a bit more texture coming through. Looking at the hiking, we're looking at sports where you don't actually need a lot of fit. So, you know, 100% poly happening here. Golf is really growing and having that sort of like natural look, the tradition, but you've got that built-in performance as well coming from the premium brand ingredients is really key. So a very sort of like summery, active direction. And then we go on to Boundless, and this is our great outdoors trend. And this is about space. We've sort of like talked about your personal space and making space around you, but this is really about our industry, outdoors, the great outdoors, and it's just a really fabulous environment. And here we looked at fabrics that created sort of like a warmth to the body, but also allowed you to experience the best outdoors. So very much like outdoor lifestyle, nature. Camping is huge, as we know. So, you know, we want kit that we don't want to be carrying massive backpacks. I saw one company had managed to do a tent and a backpack in like 1.5 kilos for spring, summer. I mean, we just don't want the weight to carry. So with the apparel as well, we want to be wearing apparel that will be anti-odor, it'll be moisture management, it'll be thermal regulating for the fall, winter, and you know, and protective. So, but at the same time, eco focused, you know, sort of like, again, focused on these brand ingredients that are doing their best to offer a cleaner process. So we saw here a four-way stretch. We've got the thermal regulation I've mentioned with the moisture management. And also, you know, this anti-odor is really important. This can be either in a finish or it can be in the actual yarn. but incredibly important because you can wear product for longer, and then you're not having to carry as much with you, but you're also not having to wash as much. Home laundry is, is so bad for the environment if we're constantly washing. Here we also see these fabrics, not just for the outdoors, but working for base layers, for skiing, for winter sports, and really adding additional detail again with PFC-free DWR for, sort of like protection on second layers that look like wovens but are actually knits. And here we have also what's quite interesting for winter. We're seeing a lot more of the hybrid designs. So you have your wovens and you'll have your down jackets or insulated jackets. But, side panels, underarms will be knit. And it's a much better sort of like flexibility. Again, you can have like the anti-odor in there as well, which is key. And just the whole outdoor aspect is really growing because it just appears, what I like about the outdoor is anybody can do it. Anybody can go and walk in a park. You're outdoors. So, taking it further, it's just so much more inclusive. And I really love that. While swimming as well, UNITEX do a very strong swimwear line also. So while swimming is huge, especially in the UK, it's gone crazy. And then the fabrics here, we've got this beautiful, that's a nylon 6/6, bio-based. Nylon 6/6 has just got such much more of a sensational hand feel in this area. We're seeing more surface effects come through on the bottom there. And then also the recycled polyester, and that's actually a recycled spandex with that development too. So, sort of like quite natural, quite rugged looking knits, but really full of performance. And then the ability to have double-sided fabrics too, versatility for the wearer, but also for the apparel designer and brand developer. How can we work with these different, like a melange and a block color, and can they be reversible? Again, if you've got it reversible, you could have longer life out of it. Lots of different ideas. We've got an ionic nylon here with the anti-odor, and so again, that higher level of performance, just making product last longer. Additionally, we are looking at, again, it's got to be the warmth, the cozy touch, but also the compression. So, spandex does feature here, and that fit and performance, and especially embracing sort of like the muscular structure of the wearer. And then this is my main image that we sourced last week, and I just like this. It's just, when you see the photo, it's just the ocean and then these two little supboards, and that's where I'm going to be this summer. But this is really important for spring, summer, the outdoors, especially for the beach. And the connection here as well, we're seeing a big push in the recycled ocean plastic. So here's some working with UNITEX with their regen ocean regen, recycled plastic from the sea. There's a really nice story there, especially for the consumer. They feel like they're, sort of like adding to the sort of like the way we're moving forward for a cleaner future. Yoga on the beach as well, mountain biking and camping, having everything on your bike. And again, so we're looking at lightweight, high performance. We're also looking at that sort of like crossover where it's outdoor wear, but it can also be surf wear. So that's sort of like, and also beach to street. Again, becoming much more efficient in the way we use garments and the way we use clothes, and how we can have, the performance that is available to, make our experience the best. So that was just an overview of the trends that were developed for UNITEX and the products that they have. The we have a trend book which has got much more information in there, and you can download it at sinounitex.com, and it's a complimentary copy. But they are also located over there as well. They've got a big green foliage background. And go and have a look at the collection, because once you start feeling it, you'll understand where all this has come from. So thank you very much for your time, and have a great show. Thank you.
The microphone back? Yes, I do.
Of course, we do not let you go like this.
Am I on again? Yes. Of course, dear Louisa, we do not let you go like this. Thanks a lot. And as one of the most inspiring parts is listening to you is the overlap between, like, these are the facilities, these are the mills and everything, but also the trends, which always are emotional and where you bring all your expertise in. So if I were you, I have the honor to be on stage right now, explaining a little more on that one later. But if I were you, I would not finish with questions. So this is the moment of the performance days. Having here Pia, can you assist? So Pia is the one with the open microphone. We already have one question over there. And this is the open source for most inspiring personalities, expertise, knowledge transfer. So whatever comes to your mind, please. Yeah, thank you. Super.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I already start with my question?
Yes, of course. Please say your name, who you're working for, and then what you're interested in. Pia, we have one other over there. Maybe we can spread some microphones in this very special moment for Louisa. Sorry.
First of all, thank you, Louisa, for your presentation. It was really insightful. My name is Ramia. I'm from Rudolph. We are producing chemicals, textile chemicals. And I was wondering, on one slide, you were mentioning PFC-DWR for high-level protection. What exactly do you mean, especially now with the sustainability, that you're saying this is a trend, or?
No, what it was, because it's specific to Unitex, it's that we're using PFC-free for DWR on knits. So we're taking sort of like warp knits to a new level as outer layers. So you've got that added protection, that you've got the durable water repellents, but obviously PFC-free.
Then it was a mistake, I think, because it says PFC.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, not PFC-free, and we were wondering,
oh my God. No, it's PFC-free.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. No. Oh my gosh, I've been down from being the person bringing PFC-free, PFC back into the market.
Okay, good.
Oh, sorry
then
about that.
We're on the same page. It's good. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Can I have? Yes, I have my microphone. Thank you for noting that one. And super important, I haven't even realized.
No, I haven't.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we need to change that for the downloads. Yeah. We had another question.
Yes, I have a question. Great, you can hear me. Hello, Louisa. Thank you for that. I really appreciated it. And I have a question that was on my mind in coming to this show, and I think Unitex is a good example of manufacturers. But what are the questions that brands are looking at when they're going to manufacturers, especially innovative manufacturers like this, about adhering to any sustainability claims that they're trying to make? You know, especially with you want to have an ISO label or anything that I saw listed on the bottom there. All those take so much time, and especially when you're coming up with these fabrics that you want to get on the market in such a scale. How are these manufacturers answering these questions right away, being like, okay, yes, we can't necessarily maybe showcase this initiative in this capacity that you might need for regulations, but how do they communicate this? And I'm biased coming from somebody that works in this field. So I want to state that right away, that this is not a neutral question in any capacity, but it is a curiosity, not having an opportunity to speak to a lot of manufacturers. What is it and what are their needs?
And can you please tell us your name and your role?
Yes. Hi, my name is Denby Royal, and I work for an impact analysis firm based in France called PEF Trust.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
This gentleman beside me will be on the stage later. Not to turn this into a marketing pitch, but
this is super nice.
Yeah. Since I have the microphone, maybe I'll just jump.
Never give it away, please.
but it's a genuine curiosity, because we speak to the brands, but now more so they're asking the manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
And I just
but not only building up what comes next if PEF Trust is on stage, but maybe you can have some words for those who do not know PEF Trust, what you're doing. So this is really just 3 words, 3 sentences.
Yeah, great. I can do the quickest pitch possible. So we do impact analysis for goods. So from the entire supply chain, from raw material until end of life, and we do this LCA, so life cycle assessment analysis, based on the PEF methodology. So the environmental criteria set out within the European Union to come up with a standardized way. So I like to say everybody's playing with the same deck of cards. So when you're doing your calculations, everybody is doing the same math. So all the results are equal and shared and cohesive. So this also works with the French methodology that's coming out as well. But so there's a lot of demands coming for factories to adhere to these certain rules that are coming out.
Thank you very much for contributing. Super important point, and you cannot ask any better than Louise.
I think at the end of the day, just talking generally about the textile mills and also the brand ingredients and everything like that, what's happening now, in the past, brands used to, sort of like turn up with a fabric swatch and say, we want this. Now the factories are much more prepared. They have all these accreditations. Each fabric development, especially with UNITEX, is accredited. Working with the premium brand ingredients as well, their accreditations are taken into account and offering complete traceability and transparency. There's a lot of, the accreditation system is super important. It's really important, but it's also quite confusing because there's so many. So, and I think Charles is going to be doing something on this in the future because it came up on LinkedIn the other week. How can we sort of like get it down? How can we just get it down to sort of like a stamp that says, this is a really good product. It's really clean, it's really transparent, it's sustainable, and everything like that. But at the moment, it's just not possible.
We do a short break, sorry.
Okay.
Which is now in some minute, and
Okay.
it is already there, but continue, please.
If someone could come up with one clear solution, that would be great, and everybody could adhere to it. But what I would say from a sort of like a sustainable point of view, for responsible manufacturers, they are, manufacturing responsibly, and the same for brands as well. Downstream, they've got to manufacture, source responsibly as well. And then in turn, the consumer doesn't necessarily want to go and see a product that says, oh, it's saved, we've got no water and saved the earth or whatever. It's just, they want to buy a product to do their sport or for what they want it for. So, but they want to trust their brands that are doing the right job. So really, sort of like, in a way, how we see it, you can eliminate the consumer because it's the brand's job to make sure that everything has been, right along the supply chain, completely transparent and traceable, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again for your contribution.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Oh, yes.
Hi, Louisa.
Some more. Hey again. Hey again.
Thank you for the inspiring presentation. My name's Eric Hansen. I'm design director for a German activewear brand called Cube. I rolled in a little late. Can you define the term bio-based spandex for me? It's not something I'm familiar with, and I'm really curious about it.
Okay, the bio-based spandex that they're using is from Hyosung. So they are actually exhibiting here. So I'm not, I would route you there because I'm not an expert in that area. But that's where they're using it. And I believe they also use Lycra as well for the spandex, the bio-based spandex. The bio-based isn't 100% bio-based, I know that. But I think for more, technical information that the Hyosung can give, it's better directing that way. Hope that answers it.
That's a good start. Thanks.
Thanks.
And I am mute again. Why do you mute me? So, referring to your question, and I was like, for transparency, this is a sponsored session.
Yes.
Do you want to say something on that, or should I?
No,
You start.
You can.
Okay.
About what?
So the sponsored session for Performance Days is something where brands buy in or corporates buy in for having time on stage. But in this case, it is not only the UNITEX story you were telling as a sponsored one. And this is what I wanted to assume to that one for you now from asking from Cube. There's lots of information in Louisa itself, in the visionary things you brought up quite a while for platforms, trade shows, brands, trends, etc. So, but it's important to know that the part on UNITEX is a sponsored one?
Yeah, that's it. So basically, the information there, the trend information can be applied across
everywhere.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And I just wanted to let you know that this every information and all the professionality you're bringing in is yourself, and you are partnering up with UNITEX,
Yes.
which is, for myself, just as a comment, kind of new collaboration aspects where it might lead to what you were saying when we had the short prep talk in beginning, visiting a facility with what you were saying. It's new, it's based on sustainability. You do not need to recharge existing structures, but they build it up from something new. Is that what made you cooperation going? Because that's the first time you do something like that.
Yeah, completely.
So this is like an important...
That is very much so, because the companies I work with, as I mentioned earlier, from, they can be with brand ingredients through to actual brands. With Unitex, it's different because it wasn't a case of me coming in and sort of like embedding myself. It was much more sort of like working, having the synergetic approach sort of like they're a very young team, and it's a very different approach to sort of like how I've been used to, especially in Asia and the factories there. They're very open for new ideas, and their vision is green your life. So,
So it's a mixture of something like a marketing visionary.
Yeah.
This is what happens with them. This is why it's. I thought it's important.
I think it's very much like you can't do everything. Mm-hmm. So it's quite sort of like I just really like what they do. And obviously I work with them, but at the same time, it's not sort of like taking over them. They're very much involved with the fabric developments. I don't do the fabric developments as much. I work on the trend side. So because they're very good at doing the developments.
So it's like a use case for you.
Yes.
That's it. So.
Thank you very much.
I love that. So, are there any other questions? Otherwise, we would hop over to the next one. Sorry.
Do we really have time?
I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. Do we have time, Cindy? One last question? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Cindy.
Okay. Thank you. Very sorry that I wasn't here for the... By the way, my name is João Matias from YKK. I'm very sorry I wasn't here for the whole thing, but there was an initial question about PFC free, and what I want to ask is, can we really say anything is PFC free? Because it's in the air, it's in the soil, it's in the water that we use in manufacturing processes, probably contamination, whatever. Even if it's not intentionally in the formulations, it could be somewhere. Can we say PFC free for anything?
By the way, thanks to our industry, it's like that.
Yeah, not only our industry,
just
but
mentioning.
Many industries for decades. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing is, the PFC is, like you said, everywhere already. So, but with our industry, we do choose to use PFC free because we don't have a choice, frankly. And also, it's still early days for it. I mean, I think the lady from Rudolph's gone because she would have been good to join in on that. But it is really early days because PFC was very good in what it did, so...
I'm sorry, need to interfere.
Go on.
It did not. It destroyed so many things.
No, but in the actual garment.
Yeah, but this
but the other side of it is not good. No, I don't...
No.
Yeah. I'm going.
I'm neutral moderator right here.
I know what you mean. But PFC, the versions coming out now, don't protect as well, I don't think, as some of the past ones.
This is a too long conversation.
I'm going.
Let's postpone that one.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Oh, thank you
Have
so
a good
much.
show.
It was lovely to see you.
See you later.
Great job. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.